Fam, it's your girl Young Africana back at it again with another video. Today is day 3 of the Avatar series. We are halfway through. We have one more episode, which is the season finale, so I'm super excited, and that one is going to be, last but not least, The Last Airbender. So yes, Aang, Air, it's going to be the Air Nomads in the next video, but for this video, this is Fire Nation. We're giving Princess Azula, you guys, so I'm super excited of how this came out. I got this look inspired by Arrogant Tay. He did it on one of his friends or clients, and it came out super duper bomb. So I'm going to show you guys how I do my hair, how I color it, style it, install it, and how I also do my makeup for this look. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. But before you go ahead and continue on with this video, go ahead and give this video a big fat thumbs up. If you are feeling how I'm looking so far, come on, I'm looking fire, literally. If you like how I look, go ahead and give this video a big fat thumbs up so the rest of the world can see how good I look, as well as comment down some fire emojis if you're also feeling this, and some red hearts if you're Africana OG. Alright, and also too, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell right next to the subscribe button to get notified of when I drop my videos, especially the last video of the series. You do not want to miss that, so go ahead and subscribe and click the post notifications to get notified. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So starting off with the watercoloring, I have my bucket of warm water, and I'm going in with my Kiss Temptation dye in the color Funky Yellow, and I use 2 bottles of this. I'm gonna go ahead and mix the color around and then dip my wig inside. I did get this wig, well, these bundles that I made into a wig. This hair is sponsored from Capelli Amore. It is a famous UK hair brand. They were featured in Vogue and everything, so I'm super excited to work with them. They gave me 26, 24, 22, 20, and an 18-inch body wave lace frontal, and the frontal was a 13x6. And as you guys can see, the hair took color really well. I'm dipping the hair back and forth, make equally saturated, and you're just going to keep on dipping the hair until you get your desired look. And again, make sure that you comb through the hair so that they're like the strands are just saturated within the wig, and you don't have any blotchy spots. Now the trick for my seamless blend is I don't change the water when I'm doing my ombre. So I'm going to be using the same yellow water, and I'm going in with my neon orange, again from Kiss. All the colors I'm using are from Kiss, and I went ahead and used probably like 1/4 of the bottle. I used the neon orange and then added in some flaming orange from Kiss as well too, and I just mixed those two up, and I'm mixing it up inside the yellow water. And that's just how I get my seamless blend, because I want to have like the yellow undertones and the orange undertones within each ombre, because again, these are colors separate from each other, even though they're kind of related. Some of them may have different undertones, so I just wanted to make sure that the undertones were just right, and it came out perfectly. That's just kind of like my philosophy behind, you know, the whole watercoloring thing. But yeah, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just dipping the hair until I get my desired color. You want to make sure that when you're dipping your hair, you're just dipping your hair and then combing it. That's how you get your seamless I guess your seamless ombre. It's just constantly combing through it, making sure that it gets through all the strands. And yeah, I don't know how to explain the science behind me getting a seamless ombre, but yeah, just keep on combing it. Make sure you comb through it so that all the hair is saturated. Now adding, we're going to be using Black Cherry and also Red Velvet, and I mixed those two. I used more of the Red Velvet than I did of the Black Cherry. I would say about like a half of the bottle of the Red Velvet, because I really wanted that deep burgundy, you guys. So I'm just dipping the hair, and that would be my third ombre. And I feel like the orange is probably like the least, to be honest, versus the other two colors. I like to go up in color when it comes to the burgundy, more so because I know that I'm going to be chopping up this hair a little bit, so I want to make sure that the burgundy gets some shine as well. And I went ahead and just rinsed it out.
put some silicone mix, the conditioner in, and let it air dry, and these are the results, y'all. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting out my ear tabs. You want to make sure that you cut out your ear tabs just so you have a nice seamless look. I use my comb to kind of carve out where my ear is and then cut it off with my shears. And now I'm just going to go ahead and fix up my middle part. I'm going to start, grooming up the parts and making sure that it's nice and laid before we start styling. Now to get this bad boy flat, I'm going in with my Care wax stick and I'm just applying that right at the root of where the part is. And I'm going into my hot comb. I'm using a medium to high heat setting and I'm just pressing that product into the hair so that the hair is nice and, flat and there's no flyaways. And then I'm just going to go ahead and press out the front as well. Now to cover up the tracks in the back, from the frontal to the tracks, I like to part a section horizontally in the back just to make sure that it's nice and seamless and, it just looks like hair, you guys. So I'm going in with, my comb, going to part out a horizontal part and then use my Care wax stick and press down that hair. And then I'm just using my hot comb just to make it extremely flat. Now that that's done, we're going into the layers, and this is really quick. I have a full-blown tutorial on how I do my layers and my curls, so I'm just showing you guys a little overview of how I do my layers. I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting some face framing layers, and then just keep on cutting downwards from the last place that I cut, just so that evidently you'll get a nice long V in the back. And then I just go in and just clean up any straggly ends that I have, because I hate straggly ends, especially when you're curling hair. You want to make sure that your ends are really thick and it just looks good, But now onto the curling. I'm going to be using my Babyliss 1 3/4 iron, and I'm going to go ahead and just give myself some nice bombshell curls. And again, you want to make sure that you're curling away from the face. And you guys see that blend? Come on, it just looks immaculate. Chef's kiss. Alright, and now we're at the frontal part, and again, you're just doing the same exact thing. I'm going to go ahead and curl away from my face. One thing I should have done though, because it took me so long with like my makeup process and installing the hair, I definitely should have pin curled it. So what I would definitely suggest you guys is, if you're doing this, definitely pin curl these, so when you're done with everything, you take them down, the curls are nice and fresh. Because I definitely did have to retouch up the curls later on. I didn't show that in the video though of me retouching it, but I definitely had to retouch them, but it was perfectly fine with me. But now on to the install. So I already have the lace tinted with the color that is my skin. And I'm cutting some slits just so like we can have like a seamless install. So I'm rolling the hair back, and I have my wig cap already balded. I have my wig cap secured, and I'm going in with 91% alcohol, and I'm just going to wipe down around the perimeter of my hairline just to make sure that any makeup residue, which is residue period, is off from my head. Now I'm going in with my Erica J Hold Me Down adhesive. It's the watermelon one, and I'm going to use 2 layers of this. I'm going to go around the perimeter of my head, and I'm going to use my rat tail comb just to smooth it out. And in between layers, you want to make sure that the first layer dries completely clear before you apply the next layer. There should not be an inch of white when you're applying your next layer. And again, I'm just using my rat tail comb just to smear it out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and move my wig and position it where I want it to be. I usually like to position it right in front of the glue, not right on it, just because I kind of want to have room to just, it's less room for error, when you do this method and you go in and, add glue versus when you apply the glue right on top of the wig. It's just not a pretty sight, y'all. So I'm just going in with my comb, and I'm just pressing down that glue with my comb. And now I'm going in and working in sections. I'm starting off with the middle section, and I'm using my eyebrow razor just to cut off the excess lace. And you want to make sure that you cut as close to the hairline as possible. Alright, and now I'm just going to go in and detail with my rat tail comb. I'm just kind of like outlining where the glue is supposed to be at, I guess. And I'm doing 2 layers of this as well. Once I have that outline, I'm going to go ahead and smear it out, and then I'm going to press that lace into the glue once it turns clear. And now I'm just doing the same things on the sides as well. And again, take your time, you guys. You don't want to rush this process at all. Now I'm going in with my spritz spray, and I'm spraying that all around my hairline, and then I'm going to apply my elastic band and leave that on for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take it off, just so you know we can further the melt. And these are the results that we get. And now we're going to go into the makeup. Alright, y'all. So, I'm going in with my Lancome foundation. I already have my face prepped and primed, by the way. You want to make sure that you prime your face. I'm going in with my Lancome Tint in the color 555. And then I'll be using my Huda Beauty foundation in the color Lava Cake. And I like to mix those two. I feel like it gives me like the perfect complexion. And you know, on the bigger spots of my face, I'm going to go ahead and just buff that out with my Real Techniques Instapot brush. And for the smaller parts like my forehead and like the sides of my head, I'm going to use my Morphe brush just to buff it out. It's a small foundation brush. And as I'm doing this, I'm then going to go ahead and just kind of tint the lace with it as well. Just so that everything meshes together and like, you know, my lace doesn't look ghostly. That's not a good look, y'all. So I just go in and, you know, do my forehead and then use the like the residue from the makeup that I use, and I'm gonna pat that into the lace. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to use my contour stick. This is a foundation stick from Juvia's Place in the color Congo. I'm going to apply that around, like, you know, the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm going to go ahead and buff that out with my Ulta Precision foundation brush. Now on to highlight. I'm using my CoverGirl True Match Concealer in the color Cappuccino. And I'm applying that in the places that I want to highlight at. So that'll be around my chin area, my T-zones, and my mustache. And to blend this out, I'm just using a damp beauty blender just to blend it out, make sure that it's nice and seamless. Alright, you guys, now on to the fun stuff. I'm going to use my Maybelline Asian Wine Concealer in the color Hazelnut, and I'm going to use that as like my eyeshadow base. You want something really sticky and, you know, brown and a little bit lighter than your actual skin color of your eyelids to do like a popping color, because we're going to do a popping color today. And I'm kind of dragging out the concealer a little bit as well to outwards, because we're going to do a buffed out, you know, blended out look. But Going into my Morphe 35B palette, I'm going into this mustard yellow and then this orange. I use the mustard yellow as my transition color, so I use that around, like, you know, around my brow bone and, like, you know, just all over. The orange gets a little bit more precise. I'm applying that into my crease and then buffing it upwards. And then I'm going to go into that ruby red in the same palette. And again, you just kind of want to buff those out. And I'm buffing them out, and I kind of go in between once I'm done, just to make sure everything has like a seamless blend and, you know, it doesn't look, you know, too harsh or anything. And again, I'm just kind of buffing it outwards because I wanted a blown out type of eyeshadow. Alright, now I'm using this lippy sticks. I forgot what it's called, the color, but I'm just using a red lippy sticks from ColourPop, and I'm applying that as a base for my red. This kind of just deepens up the color and overall just gives you better color payoff when you have like I guess a primer or a base that's the color that you're going to use. And now I'm going into my Juvia's Place Warrior palette, and I'm using that deep red color as, like, you know, on top of the base. And I'm just gonna blow it out and kind of buff it into the orange, and I go back and forth and buff those colors in just to make sure that it's nice and diffused. And it looks a little crazy right now, but we're gonna fix it up, I promise. So now that that's kind of done, I'm gonna go in with my benign powder in the color Hazelnut, and I'm going to, you know, press that into my concealer just so we could, you know, set it, because we have to set it. And I'm setting it wherever I highlighted at. Then I'll be going into my Morphe AR contour palette, and I'm using the contour shade just to contour around my face and also around my nose as well. Now I went ahead and lined my eyes off camera with my Italia black pencil, and I'm applying some more powder just because we're going to be doing like an under eye eyeshadow as well too. So I want to make sure that, you know, I have some powder just so, like, if I have any fallout, the powder could catch it and it's easy for me to swipe away without messing up my makeup. So that's a trick. So now I'm going in with like a small buffer brush, and I'm going to use that same exact deep red that I used you know, as like my eyelid color, and I'm gonna go in and use that to buff that out. And then I went into the black eyeshadow from the same Warrior palette, and I just went ahead and buffed that out. And as you guys can see, like, we have a nice blown out look. Now I'm just using my foundation brush just to remove any excess powder that I have on my face. And now onto the highlighting. I'm using my amrezy highlighter, and then I mixed the highlighter with this gold tone I got from my Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette. And I'm just gonna mix those two just so I can get like a vibrant gold. And then to finish this look, I just went in with my NYX matte black eyeliner, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself, you know, a nice little cat wing. I cannot live without a cat wing. Like, I feel like it just gives my eye character, you guys. Like, it has to be a part of my makeup look. So I went ahead and put on some lashes off camera. I stacked some old lashes together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my face with my Morphe Continuous Spray, and I'm pressing that into my skin so it's nice and set. And then I'll be using kind of like the leftovers on my brush to highlight my nose and my cupid's bow as well. Now I went in with my Italia lip pencil in burgundy, but now I'm going to go in with black from Italia as well too. And then for lip gloss, I'll be using my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Tiramisu. Now I'm going in with my eyeliner, and I'm applying my little molly moles. You already know I love my moles, y'all. And these are about, like, you know, the finished results as far as my makeup. We're going to go ahead and just fix up my hair really quick. Now I'm a little upset because I noticed that I lost footage of when I was doing my baby hairs. So I just went ahead and, you know, did my baby hairs, recurled my hair a bit, and these are the finished results. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of comb out those curls as well too, and just, you know, fix it up, but it'll be off camera. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you have not. What are you doing? Get it together, you guys. This is day 3, which is Fire Nation. I really do hope that you guys enjoy this content, and overall, just get ready for air. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.